and just press stop.
Okay.
To mark the finish line, when we get out on the straightaway, you just push that one time, and you're good.
And then when I come in, just hit stop.
So I'm going to get your mode set here. I'm going to put you over in track mode. I twisted it till it says TR there. And I push this button twice in the middle. And then now it's in the PTM modes, which is just like a little sub-menu, and I'm going to put it in Sport 1. Okay. We'll just go ahead and do that every time for you to make sure that everything's okay. I'll put that in there so that we don't have that fall out. Cool. We're good to go. I'll do a radio check here in just a second.
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
I don't hear any radio.
I haven't checked. I'm in this group. That's gonna work, right? Thank you.
Okay, we've taken all the track control off. So we're all ready to go here.
Okay, real quick radio check here for our group. So Susie, good. Rich, can you hear me okay back there? Good deal. We'll get rolling here. Let's get those windows up. We're going to be going here shortly, so we're going to be the second group to go. So go ahead and roll behind me here, Susie. And Rich, you can go right behind. So first orientation lap here. So like I said, we're going to be entering the track between turn 2 and 3. We'll go ahead and make our way up into third gear here. And we're going to drive around that cone this first time, but we'll use that as our turn-in. So as we go over the drop here, aim between those two tanks out there. It's a pretty good visual for you there, Rich, the first time heading over it. And as we go continue here, you'll see the turn-in for turn 4. And so we're going to roll right next to that turn in. Don't worry too much about shifting this point. We can just kind of stay in a lower gear. I want to hit this apex, and I want to ride this curbing from the apex all the way to the end of that curbing. Just like that there, Susie. Nicely done. And then we're going to unwind all the way out to our exit. Now we can go ahead and reach over and push that mark finish line. Then you don't have to worry about that anymore today. All right, so as we start our braking here for turn 5, you'll see the turn in. This is a tricky one. Like positioning the car, you'll see I stay pretty wide here. Kind of mid-track here as I'm looking through turn 5. looking around the corner, out of the corner of the windshield, I'm trying to find that apex cone. Putting it on that curbing right here at the apex for turn 5. Turn 6 is a left-hander, and I want to go nice and straight coming into turn 6 and be able to kind of hit the back half of this curve here like this, the really late apex, which we'll spend some time talking about. Squeeze a little throttle, and I'm going to lift off my throttle to let the car come back to the right here for turn 7. And then I use a brush of the brake here for turn 8 to let that car get all the way back over to my apex for turn 8. That little brush of the brake is really important to get that car back over to the left-hand side. All the way down here to turn 9. Unwinding, I'm going to come out here to this dotted line. That's kind of my aiming point on the left-hand side. Note your turn in there for turn 10, but get your head swinging to the right there so you can see that apex. Pretty wide curve there, so make sure you get that car, those tires right on that painted curve. There you go, Susie. See kind of a faint white line out here at this crack where I was. Perfect. That's about how far you want to unwind the wheel. Now we're back to turn 1. So again, braking on approach to turn 1. By about halfway through the corner, I want to be straddling this white line. You'll see a white line appear about 15 feet from the inside of the racetrack. Try to straddle that by the time you get about halfway there. And then I don't want to go way too far out to the right coming out of turn 1. Maybe a car width or 2 is okay, because I need to be in position here for turn 2. Once again, start bringing your eyes up here for that turn in for the drop. So go all the way out to it. Then I'm going to add my steering and get that wheel straight and aim for that left tower there as I'm going over the drop. So I want my wheels to be straight as I go over the drop. I'm not that concerned about getting down to that apex there at the drop. That's why it's white. Call that a near apex. And we just want to get sort of close to it. We don't need to be right on top of it. All right, let's go ahead and rotate. Perfect. So let's have Rich come on up behind me. Nice job, Susie. And Rich, you can tuck up right behind my car, and then Susie, you can fall right behind there. Perfect. That's how we do those rotations. All right, Rich, you get a little perspective on the driving line here. And again, 5-6 car lengths is okay. We're going to bring it all the way down to our apex here. Start bringing those eyes up. I want to put my left tires on this white line as I approach turn 6 here. Looking good. And then I use some brake as I'm approaching turn 6. It's a little straightaway, but look, I'm going to drag that brake quite a while so that I can get that car all the way down to my apex here for turn 6. Back over to that right-hand side. Try to get all the way down to that apex. Remember, be patient with that throttle. There you go, Susie. All right, we'll bring it all the way down to our apex here for turn 9. Unwinding out to the left. Good, and you'll see the turn in here now. So we're going to use a little brush of the brake there, Rich, and bring it, put that car right on that curbing there for turn 10. Get all the way down to it. Now bring those eyes up, squeeze into that throttle. This is our straightaway. And then we're going to bring that car as we kind of bring it back on over to the right-hand side. Good, there you go. Bringing it a little tighter. Perfect. And look for that apex out the corner of that windshield. Put it on that little curb. As we come out of there, we use that string method. We unwind and squeeze into that throttle. All the way down to turn 2. Now bring those eyes up here, Rich. Look up for those towers, those tanks, and aim for that leftmost tank. Good, there you go. I use a little brush of the brake here as I enter turn 4. That's going to help my car, like, position the car, balance the car as I enter that corner, help me turn in a little bit better. I'm unwinding out to the left here. So I use light long braking here at the end of this one, at the end of the straightaway here for turn 5, and I'm starting to look right. Really stretching to try to find that apex as soon as I can. Just a little maintenance throttle here. Keep the car rolling back to the apex, then start to unwind and squeeze into the throttle as I get to that apex. Keep it a little more to the left there. We don't need to swing it out quite as much. We want to be nice and tight to that white line. Then we're going to bring it all the way down to our apex there for turn 6. Good. Little squeeze of the throttle, and then I come off the throttle. Now we're going to work on how we exit the track here. So I'm going to kind of slow the pace down and gather us up. So our track exit is right after turn 9. So as I come around turn 9 here, I'm going to get my left-hand turn signal on. And you can do the same. And now this time we're going to go to the left of this dotted line. We're going to just exit, and we're going to go right back on behind this group in front of us, and we'll start talking about those shift points. If we do have an issue, this is how we'll be exiting the track. All right, we're going to roll right behind these guys here. We'll get rolling, and I'm going to talk about the shift points as well. We can build the pace as we feel comfortable. So we're going to work our way up into third gear. And then right paddle up to fourth before you get to that drop. Good. Then up to fifth here. Just a little brush of the brake there. And kind of constant throttle as you're coming around turn 4 here, Rich. Look through this corner, put it on the curbing. Then try to ride that last half of that curb, unwinding. We're going to stay in fifth gear. Now we're going to start that braking process here. Left paddle down to fourth gear under braking. I use a little throttle, and then I lift and let that car turn for me. Be patient, wait for that apex. Good, we're going to stay in fourth gear now this whole section. Keep it nice and tight to the left there on entry. Good, and then use that light brake pressure. Control that brake pressure, that balancing pressure. Looking good back there, Susie. Then I use a little throttle here. Back over to the right, and then now a little brush of the brake. You see my brake lights there, Rich? That'll help you get that car back over to the left. Just look a little further ahead. Now left paddle, Rich, down to third gear here for turn 9. Bring those eyes up. Look for your turn in now for turn 10. Up to fourth gear. Little brush of the brake. Bring it down to your apex there, Rich, and then squeeze into that throttle. Good, let it unwind a little more and go up to 5th gear as you're on the straightaway here, and then braking in a straight line, back down to 4th gear. So we want to be in 4th gear here, Susie, as we approach turn 1. Looking good, you can let it come out a little bit more than that, and then now under braking, I'm going to left paddle down to 3rd gear here. Input. Get that car straight, up to 5th gear now. Little brush of the brake, look through that apex. Kind of constant throttle, manage that throttle. With the curbing ends here, you can really start to squeeze into that throttle and accelerate. Light long braking, carrying more speed, so we got to get that car slowed. Left paddle down to 4th gear now. Way to carry that momentum better that time. Now here I really want you to work on putting that car on the curbing. So lift off that throttle and let that car turn to the right there. Get onto that curb. Good. And now use that brush of the brake here to get that car back to the left for turn 8. Perfect. Nice. Good improvement. Left paddle down to 3rd gear here for turn 9. For turn 1. Good, try to carry that momentum. Look through this corner, look down the hill. Susie will get you up front here when we get to the straightaway. Take it a little straightaway there, Rich. You can accelerate a little bit, and that makes you use the brakes. Left paddle down to 3rd here for turn 2. Remember the 2 slow corners, 3rd gear. Unwind up to 4th gear. Then back up to 5th here, little brush of the brake. Constant throttle and put it on your curbing here. All right, we're gonna do a rotation. So Rich, unwind all the way up to the left. Try not to hook it to the right like that. Just make sure you stay behind me and then unwind, and then once you get to those double cones, then we'll rotate. All right, Rich, go ahead and tuck behind that ceramic gray Stingray, and then Susie will get you behind me here. Good job, Rich. Alright, so we want to be in 4th gear right now, Susie. Looking left now, using that 4th gear. Putting that car on the curb. Good precision there. Now we're going to do that left paddle down to 3rd gear here for turn 9. Clip that curb, unwind out to the left. Good, accelerate up to 4th. Little brush of the brake to help you get it to turn in here for turn 10. Good, unwind. To 5th. Back over on the right side, braking in a straight line, left paddle down to 4th. Left now, Susie. Find that apex. Bring it all the way down there. Then unwind and make this a little straightaway. And then we're going to slow our pace down here. We're going to gather up. We're going to go ahead and move on over to the right-hand side. So go ahead and tuck behind me here, Rich, behind the gray car. We'll let this group get by. And we'll go ahead and get right behind them and get going. All right, let's go, Susie. We'll make it back up to 4th gear here. Now drag the brake. First third of the corner, I use a little brake. Then I use a little throttle here in turn 5, just a little, and then I lift, no pedal. And when I come off that little bit of throttle, that's gonna help that car turn for you a little bit and get pointed in the right direction. We're going to spend a little classroom time talking about turn 5 because it's a challenging corner. Looking left now, look out that side window. Get down to that curve. This is that part now, Rich, where we're going to really work on managing that weight transfer. Lift off the throttle for turn 7, and then turn 8, we just use that little light brake. Good, unwind, eyes up, aggressive, up, accelerate up to 4th gear. All right, looking good, down to 4th. Looking good, Susie. Eyes up. All right, starting that braking process now, Susie. 4th gear here, looking right. Looking good, Susie. Now stay a little bit to the left. I try to use that white line as a guide. My left tire, because this corner, I've got to slow it down enough that I can keep it pretty tight there. And then squeeze a little throttle from that apex, and then lift, and that'll let that weight transfer help you get that car back to the right. There you go. And then a little brush of the brake to get back over to the left here. Bring your eyes up though. Now look for that turn in for turn 9, but swing your head over to the right. This one opens up a lot more than it appears, so you can carry a little bit more speed through there and unwind. Good. Go around one more time here. Up to 4th, and then clip that apex. Then be aggressive, accelerate coming out of there. There you go, up to 5th. Be firm with that brake. Stay away from that progressive braking. There you go. Looking left, find your apex here. There you go, now we're getting some confidence, both of you, looking good. All right, looking good. The drop looks really good. Both of you are doing a nice job coming over that. Be patient with that throttle here in turn 4. Unwind. Long braking now, Susie. Down to 4th. Light brake on entry. 2nd third of the corner, I use a little throttle. Then I lift and I let that car turn for me. Yeah, I opened up a little gap there. That's just being a little heavy on the brake there, coming there. So try it through turn 5. So just try to carry that momentum a little bit more. We'll work on that. That's the hardest corner on the track, I think. And here, that trick is that getting a little throttle coming out of 6 lets that weight transfer work for you coming out into 7. Okay, we're going to go ahead and gather up and get our turn signals on. And we're going to exit this time. Good, session. I saw a lot of confidence increase there from lap 1 to lap whatever we were on there, so that was really good. Hopefully you can start to see, I know both of you are starting to see in those technical sections how we can use a little bit of throttle and the lifting off that throttle to get that car to turn for us, and we're going to spend some time talking about that. So we're going to do a little class photo here. So what I'm going to do is have you park right behind me here. We'll stay single file. And you can go ahead and pull up on that, put it in park, press stop on the PDR, and then